Leo, it's Haley with Tarot from Beyond, here to provide you with your November 1st through 15th reading. We are still in Venus retrograde in Scorpio, so emotions are still very high. I'm noticing that a lot of people have no filter whatsoever because a lot of people are in their feelings, and when people are in their feelings, you can forget it. People are going to speak their mind, whether it be about a job or about a relationship that they just ended or whatever it is. A lot of people are ending things because the entire point of these retrogrades was for people to go back. That's what retro means, to go back. Take a look at your relationships that you are in. Take a look at situations that you are in that may not serve you any longer. Identify them and do something about them. So, one more shuffle I will cut and then we will begin, Leo. Okay, Leo, let's see what Spirit has for you for the next 2 weeks, or for the first 2 weeks in November. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Two of Wands, we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Three of Cups, and we have the High Priestess. Now, whomever this is going to resonate with, this is going to be kind of new news to you. However, your intuition was already telling you what I'm getting ready to channel. Spirit is letting you know that you're in a relationship with someone who is definitely having third-party situations. That's why they don't pay the bills. And they are stealing from you because they're being methodical, and they're only in a relationship with you because of the fact that they are considering every option that walks in front of them. However, you have stepped into your High Priestess energy. You have stepped into your divine femininity, and this person is still being really methodical and pretty much using you. And you're looking out into the world right now saying, what do I do with the fact that I really do feel these secrets going on in this intimate relationship with this person? I feel the secrets. I feel that there are some secrets, some things that this person is not disclosing to me. My intuition is telling me this. This card means intuition and secrets. And so, there's a lot of deceit going on here, all right? However, that can be replaced with the Ace of Cups if you allow it, Leo, okay? Because no one can take anything from you. It's what you give away. And a lot of times when we realize that, that's the part that makes us angry. It's not so much that the person stole, because if the person stole from you and has that type of mentality and behaves that way, that speaks volumes of their character. However, when you allow this type of behavior, knowing that deep on the inside, something is telling you that something is not right about this person, and you ignore this intuition, that's where you come in. And you have to ask yourself, why are you accepting crumbs when you deserve the absolute world? Why are you accepting this little tiny cup when, like, the universe is offering you a cup like this big? Once you realize your self-worth, once you realize that you deserve more than what this person is offering you in this relationship, that is when you will be reborn. That is when you will transform into a different person. And the way that you do that is by using your authority and saying, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're not going to do this anymore, and we're done. And that requires that you actually get on your horse, because this is a Knight of Wands. Wands represent fire signs. That's you, Leo. You need to get on your horse and you need to do something about what your intuition is telling you is going on, which is this third party situation crap. I can almost guarantee you that we're going to pull a lot of cards in this reading that have a whole bunch of threes in them. And when I do, I'm going to point them out to you. You are the magician. You stepped into your divine femininity, but what are you doing with it, Leo? Are you using the elements that have been given to you by God Himself, herself, because God is both feminine and masculine? And you must understand, are you using the powers given to you by the universe to manifest a relationship that is more healthy than the one that you are in now? Because when someone has third-party situations, it has a very strong potential to lower your self-esteem depending on what you're made out of. And Leos are generally very strong, know how to lick their wounds and recover very quickly, but that does not mean that you guys don't get hurt. And this is a hurtful situation. And if you think that this person is going to change, the Seven of Cups is here to let you know, yeah, this person definitely gets around. This person's not going to change, not anytime soon. This is what I call the adultery card as well. I want you to look at it very well. This person is away from the town with pentacles, something that he finds valuable. He's holding on to them very tightly, and he's saying, I'm going to go around the corner and away from the town where I cannot be seen and and hold on tight to these pentacles that I deem so valuable. And those pentacles represent different women or different men. But Spirit is telling you that you could actually exchange that 0 for a hero, like for real. Because the King of Pentacles is the marriage card, and it also represents a very strong man who is financially stable, knows what to do with his money, and wants to share it with somebody who wants to be with him because, not because of his money, but because they want to have a spiritual union with him. If you look at all the color here, he already has everything, and he's looking for somebody who wants him for reasons other than financial stability. He can offer that. That part is clear, but he's looking for a spiritual union, just as many of you Leo out there are. So there is definitely an opportunity for new love. This is the marriage card, and you pulled the Ace of Cups, okay? And the reading started off by showing that some of you are in relationships with people who are like totally out of pocket. Okay, and the universe wants to offer you the 10 of Pentacles because the universe has been watching you carry the burdens associated with being in this relationship with this person like far too long. This person is also likely very controlling, likes to play mind games. That's what swords represent. This person could either have some air in their chart, okay, like Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. But I'm feeling Aquarius for some reason, or Gemini. So you might want to go watch the Gemini reading that I have uploaded to find out what the possibilities could be for you, and if there's like anything attached to that reading that offers some clarity in this reading for those of you who are in relationships with someone who's like cheating on you right up under your nose, but you're unable to identify it. Trust me, it happens. It happens often. I do private readings very often, like every day, 5 or 6 a day at times. And that is actually really quite too many readings. So I'm going to have to kind of like slow down a little bit. I am booked to the gills, but for those of you who want confirmation on if their partner is cheating because your intuition has been nagging the hell out of you, letting you know that that's exactly what this person is doing. They're trying to sabotage you. This person does not want you to be financially stable. This person does not want you to stand on your own 2 feet. This person does not want you to acquire this 10 of Pentacles, because whomever I'm speaking to has some type of inheritance of something of some sort, or an inheritance that you and this new person that God is trying to give you, right? Like God is trying to give you this wonderful opportunity, and it's like, are you going to take this wonderful opportunity, or are you going to stay here in Betrayalville? You know, a lot of you, your intuition has already told you this. Your intuition is already letting you know that you are being betrayed by somebody very immature, in thought. Period. When it comes to their thoughts, they are very immature. They really don't know how to think for themselves. They're likely doing what they're doing because they want to look like they're like some kind of hot shit for their boys, and they want to like act like they're like Mr. King, Big King Kong and shit, and they can't even like stay inside of you for like 2 minutes because they can't please a queen for 2 minutes, but they can go please some low vibrational, interesting young lady from behind a dumpster for about an hour. And that makes them feel like really wonderful because they see in you what you don't see in yourself already. And they know that you're nurturing, and they know that you love them, and they know that even if they do get caught, that you love them enough to like forgive them. But this is definitely a karmic cycle, and I can almost assure you before the end of this reading, the wheel of, fortune, or the wheel of whatever it is, whatever it's called, is going to come up, which represents karma. Okay? You have to learn that you love yourself too much to put up with this type of crap. To put up with somebody who's going to sit and cheat on you and like lay up and lay around your house and like really do nothing and offer you crumbs, when there's somebody out there like literally waiting to give you the world, but they're not going to step to you because they know that you're in a relationship. They may not know if you're happy or if you are happy or whatever. You may be keeping quiet about it, and you may be hoping for the best. And that's what this 7 of Cups really represents. It represents that you're really hoping and wishing that this person's not doing, what it is that they're doing. But if that's what you're doing, you're in denial, because I told you the very first 6 cards that popped up made it very clear that some of you, Leo, are in relationships with some serious ass, no good ass partners that have no value, no morals, no any of that. They have no concept of what a spiritual union is at all. And so Spirit is not only telling you that this person is like extremely immature in thought, you know what I'm saying? But Spirit is also letting you know that you need to cut off the burden associated with being with this person. This card represents burden, and it's also the number 10, which is the number of completion. So I feel like a lot of you, have the intuition, and I feel like a lot of you are kind of like, I want to catch them. I mean, that's what you guys are kind of waiting on, Leo. That's what I just got from Spirit, because I'm looking at 3 10s right now. All these 10s represent completion, 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 completion. The completion of being backstabbed, the completion of being burdened, which will open the door to what you deserve because of what you put up with for so long that you didn't deserve to put up with. You know, you were really dealing with, you know that this relationship has to die, but you've been avoiding it. You've been avoiding it. Spirit, why have they been avoiding it? You guys have been avoiding being independent. You feel like being independent means like being alone. No, being independent is different. Yes, it does create different, it does create a different environment. And of course, things are different because you're used to consulting with your partner when you do this or when you do that. And yeah, they do offer a little help here and there. But do you honestly think that that little help here and there is not something that you can take care of by yourself? A lot of you are afraid to be independent. A lot of you are afraid to say, you know what? I'd rather live on a rock alone by myself than be with somebody who treats me like a piece of garbage and like some kind of doll that they can buy and put me on the shelf when they want to play with me. And then like put me back on the shelf and then get another doll and go play with it and then put that doll on the shelf and then like juggle all these different women or different men. Some of you are in this situation and your intuition is screaming this at you and has been for a long time, but you want to catch them. But the thing is that you have to understand that people who do this type of stuff are pretty methodical. Pretty methodical. They're pretty methodical and they know exactly what they're doing. And really and truly, they should go to Hollywood and like go to MGM and like try to play a part or try to play a role in some kind of like movie because they are extremely crafty, extremely, they've been watching your schedule forever. They know, I mean, and you know their schedule too. Like every Saturday morning, some of them, they'll hurry up and make their breakfast, and some of them might be business owners or whatever. It's a lot of business owners that like to do this type of stuff in particular. You know what I'm saying? Because business owners can say, oh, I have to stay at work until 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm so busy. And really and truly what they're doing is they're laying up with some other broad or some other dude. Seriously, that's exactly what they're doing. And part of you is totally cool with it because a part of you is so much more at peace when they're not at home, even though you know they should be home if you happen to have children together. But I understand that this situation makes you feel very sad, but what I would like for you to pay attention to is those 3 cups in front of this person. Look at what spilled out of those 3 cups. That's not water, which means that's not love. You need to turn around and look at what it is that you do have. And what you do have is a whole lot to offer somebody else who deserves you. Going to take sacrifice for some of you. It's going to take being in an uncomfortable position and saying, I'm going to face my fear of being alone for a little while until that right person comes along. And I'm telling you, we are in like I'm telling you, twin flame spiritual union season. Okay. And for everybody who drop their dime, I'm going to tell you right now, there is a divine masculine or a divine feminine who's going to pick you right up. I promise. It's going to make a lot of you very happy. That's what the sun represents. And the reason why you're being rewarded with this is because you're very transparent, like that naked child on that white horse. White represents purity. Yellow represents feelings and the solar plexus chakra. And that little child also represents the fact that, what's the first thing you want to do when you fall in love with somebody? You want to share a love child together. And make sure if she's a girl that you put an L or a Y in her name, okay? I see that you do love this person, which is making it very hard for you to walk away, even though you know that you have either probably even caught this person in the past, or you're just waiting to catch them because you know that your intuition is telling you what it's telling you. But I'm telling you, do not ignore your intuition. And if you should even have to ask the question, and if the other person's behavior is inconsistent, and you know that something is not quite right, book your private readings, because I'll let you know immediately what the heck is going on in your particular situation. If you're noticing that your harvest is always short and your money is always short and bills just can't seem to be paid in the household that you guys have together, why do you think that is? I mean, the person works, right? And if they work, yet they're unable to pay all the bills, why do you think that is? It's because they have several households that they are putting their money into. Your household is not the only household that they are contributing toward. So, in closing you out, Leo, I really don't like giving this information because I know it's depressing. However, you definitely can rebuild, and there is somebody already waiting to sweep you off your feet the moment that you stand in your power and say, you know what, I'm worth more than what you're dishing out in this relationship. And by the way, that was another 3. So let's look at how many 3s pulled up in this particular reading, just for those of you who are saying, no, can't be true, right? Can't be true. This person, I know this person is not, I know this person did not have the nerve to like do this to me. Like, I know for sure that this person did not have the nerve to do this to me. I'm telling you, they had the nerve, honey. They had the freaking nerve. And I totally understand where you're coming from. And I totally understand how you feel, because I've been there and I've done that, honey. I've been there and I've done that. And I recently released, and the only way that I can teach you how to release is by going through the same crap that you've been through. That's the only way that I can teach you how to deal with getting through the situation, is by going through the situation myself. You understand? You ever heard that expression? The best way to be able to, there was one more 3. I know there was. The best way to be able to teach somebody anything is, by being able to actually repeat what it is that you've learned. So if you've learned something, then, then you'll be able to spit that information back out and teach it. There's definitely third-party situations going on here. That's what my intuition is telling me. I thought that the 3 of Wands came into this reading. However, you've got the 3 of Pentacles, you've got the 3 of Cups, and even though this is the 5 of Cups, 5 is the number of change, okay? And you see these 3 cups spilled over, okay? So I'm just letting you know there's just like far too many 3s here for me. And given that the High Priestess popped up, which represents secrets and intuition, I can pretty much bet some money that whomever this is resonating with needs to hit like and subscribe and leave their comments. And if they feel like they want to get a private reading, my information is in the description box. You can book a private reading whenever you are ready to really get the truth out of this situation, so that you can make the most logical move that you can make with regards to what it is that you want to do, because you are a very seductive individual as well. You are likely the number 1, and they got all these side pieces all over the place, and they probably wouldn't even be able to count if they were to come to you and confess, which is not something that men who cheat typically do. So if you think you're going to get closure from this individual, I can tell you that with regards This card means speed, communication, or travel. They are not going to communicate to you that this is what they've been doing. They're going to communicate to you that they are the best thing since sliced bread. You understand what I'm saying? And this also represents fire. So I feel as though even though you're a Leo, you may be dealing with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone who is embodying that particular energy. So before I end this reading for you, my loves, I am going to go ahead and give you an oracle card out of a deck called Loving Words from Jesus, because we all know that Jesus is an ascended master who came to teach the concept of love. And given that we are talking about love, I'm going to leave you off with what Jesus has to tell you about this situation, okay? And we'll see how this resonates with the reading itself, okay? Pray always. You're being told to pray always. If you pray, and if you say, God, show me a sign, show me something that gives me that concrete proof that this person is not being as honest as they say they are, I'm telling you, pray about it. Pray about it, and I promise you, you gonna find out. You definitely gonna find out. Those types of secrets are very hard to keep, and the more sexual partners that you have outside of your commitment, the harder they are to contain, which is why they fall out of their pockets right onto the floor in front of a live studio audience, like I've been saying for a long time, for these men and women who think that they can just go and have sexual rendezvous and not understand that sex is spirit exchange, not to mention the fact that, you know, it can also put your health at risk. And anyone who loves you, like for real, is not going to do some shit like that to you. Period. All right, so that's what the first 2 weeks of November are going to be looking like for some of you, Leo. Some of you already know. Some of you like just found this out. And I do my readings called the daily release because you need to release this energy. My internet has been down, but I added 2 additional services. One of them is up there. It's called, banishing and invoking. It's basically using candles to banish unforgiveness and bitterness and all of the feelings that can come along with someone who's betrayed you, so that you don't carry those emotions too long, or that you don't carry them at all, and so that you can replace those emotions with more positive emotions that allow you to move on quicker. I also offer a service called taking a correct spiritual bath, and it requires that I actually send you out a particular stone. And in order for me to do that, you would have to book a private reading. You would have to know for sure, because you don't want any archonic energies in you or any nanobots, among you. And I know that these words sound a little strange, but go ahead and do your research and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't want any of those energies, and that's what spiritual baths will do. They will go ahead and cleanse your energy, bring you back all of your sexual energy, because what you were doing was you were empowering this individual with your sexual seduction. Fire signs are the way that fire signs have sex, it's very passionate. Water signs have sex in a very passionate way as well. Everybody has their own unique way of having sex, of course. However, we can't sit here and act like sex is not like a big part of humanity, because there wouldn't be any of us here if somebody didn't have sex to make a person, right? So, like, with that being said, for those of you whose intuition has been bugging the absolute hell out of them because they know that the person that they're with is with them for the wrong reasons, then go ahead and book your private reading so that you can find out for sure if this reading is for you or not. Because I can see that whomever I'm speaking to simply does not want to believe it, but they really need to, because there's something else out there for you. There are other opportunities out there for you, other suitors for you, other women for you, whether you be male or female. And I'm telling you right now, you deserve a whole lot better than what this person is dishing out. And that's just the bottom line. So until next time, Leo, namaste.